going to be a money employer. Yes, you can work in here maybe next month or next year. You may pick up a job in an organization, but that's the little bit of a scheme. And if you're somebody who is already informed, nobody can tamper with your mind or mislead you in order for you not to be a registered member of this scheme. So this one called the pension scheme is created to give to workers who will force them to be workers of the parasitic organizations. When you say parasitic organization here, we are talking things like Gamtel, Gambia Post Authority, Norway, DI, just to name a few. Whoever becomes a full-time employee post establishment, you are to be a representative of this scheme called the pension scheme. So this scheme called the pension scheme, how is it funded? This one, once you are a full-time employee post establishment, your contribution will always be 100% paid by your employer. This scheme, when you retire, you will be entitled for something from this scheme. So the employer who pays the higher contribution on behalf of their workers. And how much are they taxed to the contribution for each individual employee? Each employer is taxed to the contribution 3% of the gross annual. That's your base salary for all other fiscal ones. 3% that should be paid in your name, the rest of this scheme for the social security. No good should come from your salary. All what you're going to benefit at the old age is always paid by the establishment that you are working for. So you can see to be able to do this, it has an advantage and also has disadvantages. The advantage of it is when you are working with Gamgel or GPA, all what your employer has been paid for you to the social security, at the end of your service, you will be entitled for the benefits. No goods come from your salary. Everything is paid by the employer. It's the employer who is paying those conditions on your behalf to the social security. No goods will come from your salaries. That's the advantage of it and not this thing. But the disadvantage of it is, like you work with GPA or NOWEC, and you are found wanting in the execution of the sponsor, then you still the proper deference to the school or to the company. Instead of the employer giving you a termination letter, he gives you a dismissal letter. Once it's a dismissal, even if you work for that employer for 10 or 15 years, all what they have been contributing for you in the rest of this scheme to the social security will all be forfeited. And all the benefit even the students from this scheme. So it's important that whoever is fortunate to be working with a consistent organization, make sure you respect the rules that governs that organization, because it's going to be very painful to work before your retirement because of one or two things you are dismissed. All your service will be forfeited. So sometimes you do hear elderly people, those who work and retire, sometimes they say, "Oh, I'm going to social security my monthly pay." In the Gambia, a worker will only be qualified for retirement for monthly pay. Where work and retire honorably with at least 10 years service. If you have 10 years service and above and retire honorably and submit a claim, you will be paid a gratuity, and that's the time you also be qualified to be issued a card. If you qualify to be coming to the social security every month, you are receiving a medical monthly pay until you die. Okay? So when you retire with less than 10 years service, maybe work for that establishment from 9 years coming down. If you submit your claim, we will pay you what you call a lump sum. That's a one-off payment, and then you do away with it. The pension scheme, you retire with at least 10 years service and above, you will be entitled for a monthly pension that you're going to enjoy from the social security until you die. So after getting this scheme, somebody asks a question, this scheme is created to protect workers of the parasitic organization. So somebody asks a question, what of workers of the private sector? And we have private schools, we have the government industries, we have the NGOs and so on. And your big school is a private school, right?
Yeah.
And you two are also playing your product towards national development. Hence, you are not covered with this scheme. So there's a decision that there should be something that should be created to also give protection to workers in the private sector so that at the end of their service or at the end of the day, they will also be entitled for the benefits before they may be called from this world. So it is through that observation this scheme called the National Fund was created. This one called the National Fund is the scheme that covers all the private sectors. In the private school, in the hotel, in the NGO institutions, this scheme is there to give protection to workers of those institutions. So for one to be a member, or for an employer to be a member, every new employer needs to fill a prescribed form called NPF1 and the ICF1. Is your school already registered? So your school has to fill a form called NPF1 form and the ICF1 form. So in that form, when you fill it, we want you to attach your school team certificates And also, if the school also have business certificates, that are operation for the Ministry of Education.
Okay.
But if you don't have it, it's not a problem because now, at first, it's also for registration when institutes are formed or are established. Normally, for your registration to be formalized in sources, we always expect the employer to come forward and we give this form, and you fill this form, we need attachments like a T number copy and also a certificate of operation. But now, the Ministry of Education, we definitely have to applaud them because they have made our work more easier than before. Because it has been observed that most of the schools, after getting this certificate from the ministry, they don't come to sources that they formalize their results. But so now what they come up with is, before they give you that business certificates of operation, you must, of course, formalize your registration with sources. And not only registration, you also have to prove to them that there's an evidence that you have started paying for your workers before you issue that certificate. So we applaud the Ministry of Education for coming to that two points. They are making our work easier. So registration is you have to come forward, fill a form called one form and the accept form, and you fill it. So after filling that form, it is also mandatory. Anybody who is working with that employer or like this school, anyone who is working with this school, and you are receiving salaries or wages till the end of month, you are also to be a registered member. And membership is not mandatory. Whether you are a Gambian or a non-Gambian, as far as you are working for this school, and every end of month you are receiving wages or salary, you are also to be a registered. And how can you be a registered member as an individual employee? Every individual employee has to fill in the form for the NP2 form.
NPF
2 form. This is the form that all new employees have to fill. Whoever has never been registered with Social Security and you are now working with an employer, this is the form that you have to fill in order for you to be a registered member of this scheme. Okay. So when filling this form, it's important for you to make sure you provide Social Security with accurate information about your very self. Your biodata coming to the Social Security should be the right information about your very self. The way your names will be written in your documents, your ID card or passport, make sure those names reflect on this form. Don't add a letter that does not speak about your name. Okay. Oh, don't subtract a letter that does not speak about your name. Okay. Like with the Manjagos, you see me, I am the DL member. If DL is not in my ID card or passport, once that put on the form, it's not on the Social Security. Okay. I want to ensure that DL is required to match with my documentations. Don't put a name that does speak about your name, about your very self. Okay. Madam, are you close? Or your CV? You are from class, right? So
the name should reflect like ID card information.
Your name, exactly. Your ID card information or passport information or passport information. Okay. Those are the names that you want to reflect here. Don't put a name that doesn't talk about you. So the other thing is your date of birth, which is very, very important. Most of us, when we are offered employment, instead of providing our employers with the real date of birth, we'll go and corner the person with the research and tell them to release our age. Fine, you can do it. But remember, whether we like it or not, there will come a time nature has to take this course. Okay? There's one man born in activity. Now, at the time of registration, he went and forged a birth certificate there in 1960, and he survived how many years from this? 10 years. So he was at this age. It's how the school, up to a certain point, uncle become old, become tired. Now you remember that he has also the sources got. So now there's money to be paid for him. So he went home and signed the old birth certificate, he went there in activity. So he brought that one to use to pay for his benefits. When he presented that document, you got to understand that there are two different days of birth. So he made it category clear to the uncle, all by the information he presented today is really about the retirement age. And what's the retirement age in this country? 60 years. 60 years. Okay, make it clear to him that he's under 60 years and therefore he can't be paid this benefit. Because we told him at the time of registration, the information to provide for us is 1960. And according to our records, you are not qualified to pay. But if you were registered by the year entity, you would have been qualified to be paid. But because of the information that's submitted at the time of registration. So look at him, he has to go and sit after this year. So and this I told the members, they will come back to the schools or institutions or communities kind of discipline members in order for them to grow interest in the resources building. Because of the experience, they will tell you, I am not here, I am old, so I went there to make money and they deny my money. But they're not telling exactly what happened. And in real life, can a man be born twice?
No.
Not twice. So please, make sure you take your time and give us information about yourself. Okay? And here, there's another person for here, state of admission into the scheme. Which is very, very important. The reason why we emphasize on that, we speak from experience. There are many employers that employ my sister 1 month, 2 months, sometimes years, they will not register with resources with. Now to register you, instead of getting the papers for the period that they start working in the school, the employer will not be willing because it's like the employer away from this responsibility. And by doing that, you are not carefully employing, you are keeping that employee. So, these forms, when it is easy for you to fill, or is filled by the employer, and it's easy for you to sign, go through it. If you accept the information, you sign it. If you don't accept it, don't sign it. Make it known the process so that you have been working with employer A or B for the past 1 month, or 2 months, or 3 months, or years. Now to register, they want to validate the membership, they want to put this quarantine. We will also ask you to provide information evidence to prove that yes, you have been working for this employer for this number of months or years. And what do we need from you? A copy of your appointment letter or a payslip. If you have one of them documents, use it to place with your employer to raise and validate your members. But without those documents, it would not be easy for us to fight your case and win it. Your employer can say, yes, this was just started with me yesterday. He has no evidence to prove that yes, you have been working above that period. Okay? So please, this date of admission, any date you put here, and it is signed by you and the school also endorse it and the submitted to social group, will measure that your members with resources will start effect from that period. Okay? Very, very important. So also, members will wonder what if an event I died before the January 8th. This is why we made this condition. There is a portion here, a table here for the nomination column. That is where members can write here a list of kids. That nominees. Okay? Because we made this person very flexible here. Because we know very well there are some employees at the time of filling this form, they will not be married. No child, no husband, no wife. Understand? So this one will make it open. Anytime if you fill this form and you put it to somebody who is not a direct member of your family, maybe your brother or your sister, your uncle or father or whatever, and after some months or years, you have your immediate family. You have your husband, you have your wife, you have your children, and you want them to be your direct nominees. You can always come to the source and notify us that I want to change my nominees or I want to add a name to my nominees. We'll give another form called the nominee relation form. Okay? It is up to the member. Anytime circumstances changes and you want to update, always come to the source and inform us. I want to delete Usman's name and put Margaret. Or I want to add a name to Usman. We'll give another form. Here we are very flexible. It's important for us to get this information because nobody knows when you are going to call from this one. Okay? Good. So if this form is filled and complete and signed by the school, what we also need, before we assume the form, every new employee has to attach what?
Passport.
One recent passport photo. Yeah, to be attached. And you should also provide your employer with a copy of one of these documents, either the ID card, or the birth certificate, or the passport. One that must even accept presidential permit if you don't have any document of your nationality. So one of these documents should be attached, and also your TIN number should also be attached. If all these documentation are attached and the information is correct and signed by the school and some of the social group, we will process and get each and every one of you a unique account number. Your account number and her account number would be the same. That's where your money should be paid in the account. And it is also a responsibility to provide each and every one of you with a membership card at no cost. Membership to the sources, there is no charge, there's no cost. Everything is free. The only thing we charge is if you are given a membership card and you lost it, replace it to that. Apart from that, there's no charges as far as membership to the sources is concerned. Okay? So, if the registration is done and complete, yes, continuation has to come. But before we do that, we also take note of what we call transfer. What is a transfer? Maybe you are working with it, or you are working with your, let's say, a private school before coming here. You are teaching there, and you are already a listed member of the social group. Members are allowed to change employers. to move from one employer to the other. But the important thing is, if you resign from one employer to another private employer, you don't have to fill this form. If you fill this in the two form, that means you are going to be awarded with two different account numbers. And no member should be attached to more than one account number. The account number is all from the first employer. You can move with it from employer A to B or to Z. The important thing is always to notify a new employee that you are already a registered member. And no employer has to give you this one. This form has to fill. You call it MB2A or transfer form. So before giving them this MB2A or transfer form. Okay? So before giving them this one to fill, are you hearing me? Yeah. Ask them whether they were members before coming to the school. If you have any of them who is already a registered member, somewhere coming here, give them this form. Understand? Yeah. So here you fill this form and put your account number that you are giving from the first employer. Yeah. And if the school acknowledges it and the subject social security, we present and then connect your account from the first employer to the current employer. Okay? No member should be attached to more than one account number. You can move with your first number from employer A to B to Z. Currently always notify social security and your new employer that you are already a registered member. And you have to complete a form called a form or transfer form. Okay? Good. And we also take note of what you call dual membership. This is very, very common in the teaching field. That is, you teach in this school, what is it? You want to teach another private school in the afternoon. What the policy said, all of this will contribute for you in that same account. It doesn't mean that your service here in the morning is covered by the social security. Therefore, your service with another private school in the afternoon is not the same. They should all contribute for you in that one account. So, advantage to the member. You see, somebody serving one employer and this one is serving more than one employer. If you retire, the one serving more than one employer will pay the higher percentage benefit because it's two companies that are going into this account every month. So they all of them should contribute to that account. Okay? And then we also take note of what something called casual employees. This is very common in most employers. In most of establishments, they employ my sister 1 month, 2 months, and so they say she's on contract. She's on a probation. That was what they say social security. With social security operation, the workers that present to return us are those on a peaceful contract only. When you say peaceful contract, maybe this farm have a problem here, and there's nobody who wants to get it down or fix it. Then the pastor will find somebody for the farm to come and do the work. After you do the work successfully, we pay that worker, and every end of month we pay that worker raise for salary. And every end of month we pay that worker raise for salary. That member has to be a registered member of the social security. Okay? So how is it funded? The funding of this scheme. This one I said who paid the contribution? I said who paid the contribution here, this scheme? The company. And the employer or the company. They pay it for the half. But this one that we are going to be part of, this one, for this one, it's both the employer and the employee contributes. Okay? According to the law. That governs this scheme. The employer pays 10% from the basic salary, and your employer is also given the power to deduct 5% from your basic salary every month. Here, contribution is based on the employee basic salary. But this one is contribution is based on what? Gross earning. But this one is your basic salary. So from your basic salary, your employer has to pay 10% into your account. From your basic salary, your employer has to deduct 5% from that. For example, if your basic salary is $1,000, what is 10% of $1,000? $100. That's what the school should contribute for you into your account. And now, what is 5% of $1,000? $50. That's what they should do for your salary. So you can see every end of month, if your employer deducts $100 from your salary, he has to pay $200 on top of that. Any amount your employer deducts from your salary, he has to pay 2 times of that into your account. And that money is your money. Okay? This one I say when you are dismissed, what happened? When is the dismissal, what happened? You lose everything. But this one that you are going to be part of, even whereas you are dismissed, nobody can save you from being paid this money. Maybe at the time that you are dismissed, you may not be qualified. But at your old age, you can come and claim for your money and be paid. But this one, once it's a dismissal, all what they have been paid will be forfeited. But this one that you are part of, even whereas the member is dismissed, you may not be qualified, but at your old age, you can come forward and claim for yourself. Okay? So the condition is the employer and the employee. If you complete registration, maybe next 2 months, you'll start seeing some difference in your salary. The school has to do 5% from your basic salary. Understand? And the school has to also contribute 10%. But there are some employers, sometimes they take it upon themselves. Instead of doing 5% from their salary, they'll pay the entire 50% for the workers. But what the policy said is 5% from your contributions, from your university salary, and then 10% from the school. But if the school wants if they are willing to do that, so they pay the entire 50% for you. That is optional. It's not mandatory. Okay? It's up to the employer at his own discretion if you want to do it. But what the law says, 10% the employer and 5% from the employee. That's based on your basic salary. Okay? So for most members, their concern is when and how can I be paid my money for the social security. There's not, yes, the money in social security, the money going to is your money. But it's not like you own an account with a private bank and tomorrow you want to marry a new wife or get a new husband and there's money waiting for you there. What are you going to do? You go make a withdrawal also. But social security, you cannot come to us and say, I want to make a withdrawal because I was planning to get married. It's not possible. There are conditions that every member of the social has to fulfill before you are qualified to pay the benefit from the office of the social security. There's a putting conditions for factors that every member has to fulfill. And one of the conditions is, if you have the normal retirement of 60 years, you are qualified to make come and make a claim. Members of these people, that's what I'm going for. If you have the retirement age of 60 years and you submit your claim, we will process and then pay you 100% of your benefits. Members of this scheme are not entitled for a monthly pay. When you retire, you pay a lump sum payment. That's the one-off payments. Okay? But members of the pension scheme are entitled for a monthly pay. For private sector, when you retire, all your entitlement, even the sums up to 10 million, Office of Resources will give you a check of 10 million. It's up to you what invest it anyhow you want. Okay? And again, workers are also allowed to choose to retire voluntarily. Workers are allowed to choose to retire voluntarily. You can choose to retire voluntarily if you have 45 years and above. From 45 years and above, workers are allowed to choose to retire. And how do you go about that? You write to your employer, I want to retire, I'm tired of holding jobs. I want to retire and concentrate on something. If your headmaster or your proprietor agree, let him or her give you an acceptance of resignation letter. And by that document, you will be qualified to pay a certain percentage from your benefits. You are going to pay 100% because if you are less than 60 years, you are going to pay 100%. You are going to pay a percentage that corresponds to your age. Then depending balance will be paid for you until at age 60. You can come back and make a second claim. Okay? And then we also pay what you call retirement in advance of marriage. This one is only applicable to female workers. It's only females who are allowed to choose to retire on grounds of marriage. Okay? And at least your community will be up to 5 years and above. And also your employer has to give you a certain resignation letter. And in claiming for your benefits, as a woman who said you are married, you must attach a marriage certificate. Because it's not all women who say I am married are married. So that is a marriage certificate to prove that yes, you are really a married woman. Okay? And then also pay what we call in-health benefits. When you say in-health benefits, somebody walks in and becomes sick. The employer, the employer people to the hospital, the admitted, doctors try all what they could to bring him or her back to this appointment. And in that case, the doctors believe, if you are given a medical report by the medical board, which states that you are no more fit to carry your work, you are qualified also to come and claim for benefits.
Is it a full benefit?
With the in-health benefits, as a result of the medical conditions, even if you have 1 month contributions, or 2 years, or 1 year, all that will be calculated 100% and paid to you. Okay? When it comes to in-health benefits, everything will pay to you 100%. Okay? And then we also pay what we call redundancy benefit, or optional withdrawal. Like this is
Pleroma.
Yeah. With this number of teachers, when there come a time, the school will experience some financial problems, but the extent that they cannot continue to pay all of it, every element salary. And the owner of this school, we don't want the name of this school to die in this community. What is he going to do to maintain the name? That's what downsize the workforce. That is, you have to reduce some of the staff. If you are among the appointed ones and you are terminated or redundant, and your membership with sources is up to 5 years and above, that is 60 months on redundant membership, you are qualified to come and claim for benefits. anyone who is a resources national for, and you are a member of the scheme for 5 years and above, and you are no more in any gainful employment, you are qualified to come and pay a claim. Whether you have 60 months in your account, you are qualified to pay a percentage that corresponds to your age at the time of making the claim. But less than 5 years, membership, and you are terminated or redundant, or you are not in any gainful employment, you will not pay a claim. But that money is your money. Nobody can claim for it. It will be there for you, and it will attractive interest for you annually. But if you pick up a job with another new employer, you can still pay it in that same account. Okay? So whoever is not in any gainful employment and your membership is above 5 years, that is 60 months, you are qualified to come and claim for benefits. Are we together? And the last one is what you call survivor's benefit. We also pay what you call survivor's benefit. When is the survivor's benefit? When a member died before identifying age. So I will inform you today, those who work in social security, we are not engineers. We know exactly what happens to an employee or a member of the social security. We only act on information that is used. So please, if you complete your social security, don't keep it yourself. Make the point of that you are staying with social security. So that in the event you are normal, they can come forward and claim that benefit. This is why when I was talking about registration, that person called the nomination column.
Yeah.
Okay? So these are people who come forward and claim for the benefit in the event you are normal. So make it known to them that you are still with social security because you don't own your life. Okay? So with us, social security, when we are informed, we always come to the aid of the business member fund. We help them as to how to go about claiming for that business benefit. We give them a claim form, we advise them to go and fill the form, and also write a claim letter, addressed to the end resources and attach it. And also, for example, if it's a man who passed away with more than one wife, each wife, you need a copy of your ID card. If the couple is just with children, each child, you need a copy of your birth certificate and a single passport photo. And the most important document that has to be attached is the death certificate. And it has to be original. If you are a member died in one of the most remote country, or the most remote place in this country, every community has an alcalo or a civil. Let them provide attestation of that yes, Mr. or Mrs. is no more. Okay? So without a death certificate, it's not possible for us to process that this must benefit and pay to the family. No. But if all these information are attached and the social system, we will process the benefits. And then when the check is ready, we don't give it directly to the family of the member. We pay the check to two institutions of this country. We either pay to the Lagos office or we will pay it to the Bali office. These are units within the Ministry of Justice. Okay. They are one responsible for disposing the funds of this family. We don't pay the check directly to the family of the deceased. We always give them a letter, a cover letter, which will notify them or inform them that this is the amount that's been sent to the target office or to the tenant's office. So by that document, by that letter, you can take it and liaise with the ministry that's responsible in order for the family to pay that money. Okay? So these are the factors that every member has to fulfill before you are paid to benefit from the social security. And after your membership, after 1 year of your continuous membership in the social security, you will also be entitled for a printout, that is your account. Every end of year, it's your right or the result of your school health. So today with social security, in order for all the workers here to be given a printout, account, which can help you to know how much you are saving the social security. And we also attach what we call a profile, which can help each member to know whether your school is paying the money or not, whether they are compliant or not. So that profile is very, very important. It will help you to know whether your compliance is completely for you. Okay? So take note of that. So after taking this skill, somebody asked the question, what of a teacher of this school wake up in the morning coming to school? We close from the school, going home, they are going to accident. But why can't the force of men sleep on the school? Very seriously. What's the point of that work? So they do that observation.
A teacher from a school.
No, saying a case of accident, not this school.
Yes.
No, it's differentiating it. Not this school from a school, unidentified school.
Okay, it will not happen here. Okay, so whoever is an employee of this country,
yeah,
And whether a Gambian or a non-Gambian, as far as you're working in this country, and unfortunately you are involved in accidents,
okay,
which has to do with your work, you are to benefit the compensation from sponsorship, but who gives you for the compensation scheme?
is it an accident that will not make the person to walk again, or just any accident?
There be accidents. Okay, I'll come. Okay? So it more than injury, that is official. That has to do with your work. You understand? It doesn't mean that maybe you wake up from you close from school, you went to Mr. Mike's compound. Are you Mr. Mike? Huh?
Yes.
And there's a name ceremony at Mr. Mike's compound. You went there, and you went to the village, while agent managed to fall inside the food pot. And it was in a serious injury. Are you while at Mr. Mike's compound, are you carrying any official mission? Not official mission. This one is purposely for official reasons.
Okay.
Strictly as the data according to your work. And it covers all workers from your home to your workplace. From your workplace to your home. And again, it says 2 hours before work and then 2 hours after work.
Okay.
So if you want to start lessons here at 8 o'clock, the scheme will go from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. If you close here at 2 o'clock, the scheme will go from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. But even if you go beyond that time,
okay,
and you are carrying a official function, and it's known by the school administration, and unfortunately you are involved in accident processing injury, you are qualified. It must be an official function. Anything above that, you are not qualified. And again, it says, it must be an injury that keeps you out of work for 5 consecutive days or more. Okay? When you say 5 consecutive days or more, you see that you in the morning coming to school, you enter the minibar, the employer want to close the door and you sleep your fingers and have a small news. Then you say, let me go sleep till after 5 days. No. The school administration should be aware that it's because of this injury you cannot come to school for this number of days. And after the treatment, provide the school administration with your medical documentation. So in order to place the authority in order for you to be paid the compensation. Okay? And again, we are advised always to make sure when going to work, make sure you use a direct route to a workplace. When they say direct route to a workplace, for example, you live in Brickham, and this is where we are teaching. Coming to school in the morning is only for the school administration here to avoid an accident around Airport Junction. Is that the direct route to this school? Unless and until you are asked by the school before coming to school. Before reporting to the school, go to school place and carry a function. And in that journey, you are going to ask that you are qualified to be paid. It has got a function whereby you are authorized by the administration. Okay? Then you will be qualified. So with this scheme, whoever is going to accident and want to pay a claim, the claim initiative does not start from social security. The claim initiative starts from the Commission of English. That's the Labour Department. That's where the claim process of this scheme starts from. Whoever becomes a victim and want to make a claim, liaise with the Labour Department. Okay? That's where everything starts from. Not from social security. And how much, what's the contribution? Or the registration here, this scheme here, there's no formal registration.
No formal, okay.
Once your registration with this scheme is complete, you are also going to be automatic member of this scheme.
Okay.
So we give a form called NPF1 form and the IC1 form. Okay? So whoever completes his registration with this scheme, your membership with this scheme is automatic. And what's the contribution here? The contribution here is 100% employer liability. That is all the contributions should be paid by the school that you are working for, or the establishment that you are working for. It should not come from the worker's salary. And how much are employers tax to be contributing? Each employer is taxed to contribute 1% of every worker gross annually. And the maximum ceiling is only $15. $15. If you are earning $10,000 or $1,500, $200,000, the maximum ceiling of contribution is only $15.
For this one?
For this one. That's what the school should contribute, each and every one of you. And here, nobody has an account. It's a pool account, paid by the government of the country. We are all registered employers in this country. They public contribute in that pot. If somebody is registered today in this school, and unfortunately you are not asking, you are qualified to pay the compensation. You have to be an employer of this school for this year, for this month, for that month. As far as you are a registered member and you are an employee of an establishment, and something happens to which is official, you will be qualified to pay the compensation from the social security. Are you getting it? So all claim processing regarding this thing always start from the Labour Department, not from the social security. Okay? Very good. So, in brief, this is what I have for you. So the last one here is the housing fund. We also embark on housing estates, providing housing to Gambians. Okay? We own Caribbean Housing Estates, Bakote, Yare, Yalo, and Brikama, and also Bruce. So currently we don't have any ongoing project, but we are working towards it. Already we have a project, a land deed bank between Bundu and Sipo, opposite Cap City, but that will come later. Then we have another one also at Mandinaba. That one is coming very soon, hopefully before the end of this month, by the grace of God. And then we also have another one in Basse, that will also coming soon. So when we are ready, we will make use of all the media platforms to communicate to the general public. Whoever is interested, you can come and make a claim. Sorry, and fill a form. Buy a form, and fill it, and then submit it to the Social Security. Okay? So it is open to everybody. Whoever is in need, you can afford it, you can come forward. Okay? And pick a form from the Social Security. But when you're ready, you communicate. Okay? And then currently, we are also changing our system, Social Security. We have already built a system called SSMIS, Social Security Management Information System. This is, we want to digitalize the higher cost of the Social Security to help our members, both workers and both employers and employees. So that if you want a crisis of the Social Security, no need of less fare to work with the Social Security. So by this new system, you will be able to do registration online, you will be able to make payments online, without going to the Social Security, you will be able to get your printout, your state account.
Payments online?
Huh? Yes.
Payments online?
Yes. You will be able to know your state account, how much you are saving the Social Security, you can offer the Social Security. So currently, we are training employers as to how to know how to use the system. So every establishment has its own portal. So your school, after formalization registration, you'll be invited for the training. Okay. You'll be invited for the training so that you know how to use this system. And when we are done with employers, with the employees also will also be trained, because each employee will have his own portal. So that in the event they make a payment into account, there will be an alert in your mobile phone. Okay? Or you can even in your email address, you can even see it there. You receive an alert that something is being dropped into account. Understand? So with this new system, when it is 100% running, there will be no challenges or difficulties or time wasting of paying fees going to social security office for transactions. Okay? So I will draw the point here. I will open the floor for questions and answers. Yes. So thank you very much for attention, and God bless you. And also the attendance register.
Yeah, I'll give them.
Those that are absent.
I will write their name, don't worry.
Yes, and the cleaner, your cleaners, you have a cleaner, you have a watchman, all those should be registered members. Whoever is receiving a salary in this school should be a registered member. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mendy. I think the floor is open for us. Let me start from my factory. I know she told me she has questions.
Start from others.
Okay, start from others. Okay, Auntie Vinta.
Everyone is an auntie here.
Yeah.
So what,
only me.
Where are the daddies here?
The daddies are not ready. Some of them went back to school. It's not like I can do about it. Auntie Vinta, start with your question.
The house.
Huh?
The house. The house you are saying you are.
Is it a land or building?
In our forms, there are options. Whether you want a complete house, a core house, or an empty plot.
Okay.
That's we call service plot. So you choose what you want. Service plot is empty plot. You want that one is service. If you want a core house, when you say core house, that's they're going to build it to an extent that you can even move and settle with your family. What is left you can complete it. Then if you want a complete house, then build everything. It's all going to pack your bag and enter.
How are you going to do that?
So we have to go through the form to apply for mortgage. No, we have outright purchase and mortgage. What is the outright purchase? If the land is 5,000, okay, you just pay direct and the land becomes yours and you live in a title. But if you cannot afford it, you know the forms you are in the past estate, you send the forms to the purpose. The 100,000 form is meant for outright purchase. And the 50,000 is meant for those who don't have the funds to buy it in cash. So that when you buy that 50,000 form, you fill it, you submit it. If you are appointed to go for an interview, you go to the interview, they'll ask you this land is costing 500,000. How much can you pay as a down payment? It is up to you to speak your mind. Any amount you agree with them. After the interview, if you are given an offer letter, then if you pay that down payment, the remaining balance will be paid for you for the period of 8 years or 10 years.
Okay.
You pay it by installment. But as soon as you pay that down payment, you can start developing the land and move and check it. It becomes yours. So after paying the remaining balance, then you'll be issued a title deed. Okay?
Do you take cash to pay or is from your saving account?
It is not allowed for members to use it. It's part of it. It's not part of the policy. It's not a law. Okay. But in our previous estates, some of the National Government Fund members, they apply, they were secreted, for the interview, they went through the interview, they passed through the interview, they are showing them, so they don't have the money. So the MD at the time, you understand? The MD at the time, people come up with a helping policy, I'll explain the helping policy, understand? That whoever is a non-national money form and you are offered this opportunity and you want to afford it, you can write to him, address to him, and authorize it to give 30% from your salary and use it to service your mortgage. It was not a law, it was just a priority. Understand? Understand? It's not a law, it's not a policy. You just do that based on humanitarian ground to help members of the national government to benefits.
So in short, that means that you are a member and a contributor, we have $1 million in social security. And that's section that we have that we want. It's not a loss that being as a member is to have.
Okay, my question is like, if you are working in an organization like this, you are working in the police, and the plan is one for the education, and then when you complete your studies and come back in, so how will that pay?
So in case now you are not clear and your salary, so the reason into the social security account cease. So when you return from there, and now you are still living and still you accept to be there as a citizen, then the contribution is to start where you started after when you get to
Just a contribution. Yes.
You're going to move to another institution, you go to outside of the USA. But you're already a member of the institution. Sign it, sign it, then bring it to Security, and we already have the video we connect. So she was from there now she's employed here. The leadership can be in the same. The same account that
So, yes.
as you said here, your basic earnings at the school level is what we calculate. 5% of that basic is deducted from you. And the employer pays 10,000. Okay? So if you earn 1,500, 5% of that 1,500 is calculated and deducted from you. Then the employer pays 2,000. If you earn 10,000, 5% of that 10,000 is calculated. What amount it amounts to? Then it comes from social security, 10% for the employer of that amount. Yes. It goes on as you are. Not as a chief, let's say now that you have to be paid only 100,000. It's paid as you are.
As the basic improves, the contribution to social improves. So, using the, we want people to take notes. Using the contribution to create a house of resources, it's not a privilege, it's not a right. It was a privilege extended by the former MD. So, what is not a policy, it was just a privilege. That's a privilege.
So, like that house that you are talking about, will you be given a certain age, like before 5 years, you should be able to complete it, or just by your age?
Exactly is what we do. When you go for money, you give me a certain figure that you should be paying. You have to calculate how much should be paid. So that one, maybe you go to 8 years or 10 years, then you finish the 10 years. So if you don't default, within that time you should finish it.
as it has been said, someone that was working before with a company or any institution that cannot be given another account. Whereas me, I was working in another company for 4 years. My account was not my fault because it was an emergency that the company got closed by the government. So it was said that if we were there for 5 years, we would be given something. So luckily to some others, few of them that I know were given something because they were there for 7 years. So we the ones that were there for 4 years were not given a penny. And by then, I don't know how long we've been working there, but in Bali there was a crippled man in a wheelchair, Mr. Dabo. The company of social security is that man, if you know him. That man knows all our details. By then, we were not having facts. We didn't even know our numbers. So he was the one following that process. He went to an extent of even sending us downstairs to take our pictures. All of a sudden, the process is like there was no follow-up, there was no research for us. Everything collapsed. We stopped going there without our numbers. But everything about our details were there in the machine. So the same account is what I want to continue. Hence I cannot make another one.
Yes, so now as we said here, we confirm that we did the registration form.
Yes.
You have a number, though we don't know the number. You know the number.
Such amounts were even paid.
But you know the number.
No, it start by 2. But what he told me was,
So now what you do is, one day come with your ID card to apply for this for Banjo. We give you your number.
we are in Bangui.
Baka or Banjo. Mira, this is Baka. We are coming to over. And the other thing that we have to do is,
I've always spoken to him. He told me that he's going to help me out with the number. Before I had the details of the number. It's team. Yes,
so we should know this for ourselves.
I see.
What you going to do? When the office is your ID card, you get your card number. Then after the card number, you fill this form. And then the school has the master will sign it. Then they went to the school office. They call it out to your former employer, to your current employer. Okay?
If the employer is not working again, if that organization is not working again, we can see have access.